Welcome to Bidelo Limited. We are a manufacturer of maize tortillas and maize tortilla chips. My name is Daniel Bischoff. Originally I'm from Switzerland. My wife is Kenyan citizenship, and we decided to come back to Kenya and to introduce a new product and to manufacture a new product in Kenya, which right now is only imported. Our products we are producing are 100% natural, meaning we don't put additives and preservatives. Our products are healthy. The maize tortillas look like this when they're packed. They're produced out of 100% corn, which we remove the hull. When we remove the hull from the corn, it engages the vitamins and minerals of the maize, as normally the hull contains some toxic which is not healthy for human consumption. So by this process, vitamins are more pushed to be strong in the product. So actually when you eat this product, it's more healthy, because when you eat maize with the hull, it can cause health issues like cancer if you eat every day the hull, and some other problems. So by removing the hull, we ensure everything is healthy, digestible, and the vitamins are engaged to be more released to the body, because we don't have the hull, through the process we're using of adding calcium. So that means the body also gets more minerals. And also the atofloxy in the maize is killed by that process. So even if there would be somewhere in our maize, in our source, some atofloxy, it's through that process of removing the hull and with the calcium that is ensured that it does not have that.
Why did you decide to call it Bidelo?
B is for name, beginning Bischoff. It's like bishop in English. And then Delo is D for development with E, and then L, local opportunity. And so with that, we focus on local opportunities. Farmers in some region, they're still poor developed. They have no outlet for maize. So our target was also to give them a kind of outlet for maize, and we need high quality maize to ensure that they maybe get a little more paid, which is a challenge. We're still looking at the sources to get also good relationship, because our maize is not just regular maize. We have to have the same size of corn. It has to be very dried. Usually we remove the top of the cob, because that one is not the same size, so they have to cut it off. So we have a good quality of maize. All this you don't need to do in US or in South America, where maize tortillas originally came from, because those native people had discovered this process of treating the maize thousands of years ago. I mean, that's their history. So there it's the daily meal. And we are doing actually the traditional way, like it's done in Mexico. Our challenge was, when we started the business, the source of maize. Kenyan maize is completely different quality. So we had to experiment very long time till we got the right quality, which I can assure you we have these days. But you have different breeds. Every farmer uses different breeds, and also it seems like there's not really a local development of making your own breed fitting your environment. So it's a challenge, as you have different sources of maize. And that's why we need also to work well with farmers. But also it's a challenge for them, transport from those regions which there is still low development, the roads are bad. So the challenge is, of course, our price for maize is higher, because we take it from that side. The logistics is a challenge, and it's from Marakwet area, from Cherangani Hills, and that area is actually very fertilized, there's a huge potential for farming, but it's not recognized by some official bodies. There's no tarmac road, so sometimes it cannot reach those places. Electricity is fortunately reaching now. That has been recognized. So that region can be a big potential for agri production if people have access to the market. But from that place you can take 2 hours to Eldoret, which you would take with a tarmac route only 25 minutes as example.
Tell us, how did you learn to this idea of now making maize-based crisps rather
I had to learn it myself because I came from a technical background in Europe. I was a procurement manager for a big office furniture producer, worldwide leading one. And when we said we want to come to Kenya, we had to have an idea of what could we do an impact, what business could we do, what could we start. So we said food is surely something with future. You have a growing market, you have a lot of young people, there's a lot of hope. So we believe that through producing something which is a staple food, we can introduce something new. Maize is a staple food, but only mainly in form of ugali, maybe some mokimo or mutokoi, but mainly it's ugali. So this is a healthy way introducing something new. Chapati has a lot of oil, sometimes they use bad ingredients. These products, they don't have oil. Only we have 4 types of natural that has nothing except 100% maize. So that product is healthy and suitable for people who have a gluten allergy, who need to watch their cholesterol level. And also, you can see we have no added sugar and no additives and preservatives. So somebody who watches out for quality products, he will get a healthy product. Of course, it has to be cooled, chilled. The logistic is a challenge because we have a perishable product. Otherwise, it's like a chapati. The only difference is a chapati is more soft because it's wheat. Corn tortilla is a little more challenge. You need to know how to prepare them. They need heat, but the product is already cooked and finished. So actually what someone does prepare is only the filling, vegetable, fruits, meat. It can be in local way, or you can do it the traditional Mexican way if you have a cooking book. So what you do is either you fold them to a taco, you can make them crispy or soft. You can also heat it in the microwave, or you can roll them. This is now not traditional Mexican, but kids like it. You just put smoky and some cheese, and then you can roll them, and it's also a nice snack. So normally for meal you use about 3 tortillas, so you can mix them. This is now meat, but you can also do vegetarian. It's up to your own kitchen. You can make it spicy or not spicy. You even can make pizza. You can also put like a sandwich, 2 layers. You can cook a meal with the tortillas. You have some chili sauce like pasta, sour cream sauce, we will show you that later, and cheese. Or the chips you can eat in a dip as an appetizer, or also as a meal in another way of preparation called nachos, which we also will show you later.
So how long have you been now in the market?
Real aggressive now starting in the market was from beginning of January. And as anywhere in the world, entering a market is not easy. So we have to reach out for outlets. Now with this product we're in Nakumat, we're in Naivas, we're in Chandarana and Current Provision Store, Mutaiga Mini and many other small supermarkets within Nairobi. We still look now to get into Uchumi and Tuskys. The chips, they are very easy to sell because I say people like snacks and they sell without doing marketing. It's amazing, they just go because people can tell the difference of quality and people like snacks. And I'm telling you, everybody buying this, he will buy this once he sees the difference through the imported one, because the imported one, they use powder, they use chemicals, additives, preservatives, so you don't feel really the taste of the maize, you feel artificial engages to get the flavor. So there's also a local producer who does with some powder, but it's not like this, because this is the original traditional Mexican way. And basically it's made out of the tortillas, because there's no other way of doing them. And as you can see, people who are concerned about health, because we believe what you eat is what your health is. So if you consume this balanced every day with a lot of additives and preservatives, of course it has an impact on your body, on your health. So usually it's good to combine some products and not eat every day unhealthy. So you try to have a variety of food. So this gives people a way of buying a product. They just make the filling, heat it, and it's ready to eat, because the product is cooked. The only thing, it needs to be warmed. So we have 3 products of the tortillas, natural. As I told you before, it has only maize, no salt. Then we have, for people who like to have some flavor in the chapati, I call it chapati now so it's more easy to understand. We have salted, which we add a little shortening, a high quality shortening, as it makes it a little more soft for the person to how to prepare. Still gluten-free. Then we have the product wheat enriched, for people who like to have some wheat. It has some amount of wheat inside, which makes the product more soft, closer to a chapati. But generally, we don't use oil like that amount like a chapati. So chapati can be prepared nice, or it can be prepared in an unhealthy way, depending the source. So this product has a good balance of ingredients.
Okay.
Thank you. In our place, we have high quality standard. So we ensure we follow procedures. People have to wash their hands properly, meaning in the toilet when they come here to the production. There's a special soap which has also some disinfecting ingredients. Then they have to dry them, and after that there's a disinfection lotion, disinfection, like alcohol, and then you can work without gloves or with gloves. The major issue is always in a factory which handles food that we don't have cross-contamination. So we also have, before we produce, we have to spray some surfaces with special sanitizers to ensure that there are no bacteria, because it will trace into the packaging. And I can tell you, it is really easily to contaminate. It's a challenge to keep the standards. And if somebody is not taking it serious, it can really cause trouble. And I know some companies might take shortcuts, or some companies think it's not necessary. So us, we try to ensure the highest level. We're still working on getting better. And it has also a price and a cost which comes into the product. But I think people who like a product where they are sure where it comes from will appreciate that. So, procedure of cleaning their hands. Paper tissues are used, so the hands are dried immediately. Go on the coat to clean the hands, and a paper tissue is hygienic. If you have a cloth to dry the hands, that is not hygienic process. This will now kill the bacteria. And from this moment on, you're good to work.
Okay, say that again.
From this point of disinfecting the hands, you are free to work without wearing gloves. Some parts we use gloves, some not. So it depends on which area of the production. But there is also a big deal. Some companies say we don't use gloves, we just do it like this. Some are using gloves. So it's a matter of belief and as a philosophy. Somebody can touch a shoe and then you're contaminated. So it's really the knowledge of how to handle yourself and to follow the structures of cleaning and the process of hygiene. The process starts with the input of the maize. We have batch protocols, so this is now a batch we're producing today. So we weigh the amount of maize which is inserted into the cleaner. This machine is called cleaner. What it does, it transports the maize into the cooking tank and removes dust and little particles from the maize, which drop out into a container which you place underneath. So basically what we use is manual and half manual machines. It has a reason. It's easier to repair, to maintain. You can improvise. In Kenya, there's still a lot of things you have to be able to improvise. So we try to make something half manual.
So how does the half manual system help?
It gives us some more jobs, because when you have a full automatic operation, the investment is quite much more high and it's more fragile to shut down. You will need more big generators. With electricity fluctuation, you will have to do more investments. To protect the computerized machine, you have to have more investments. So something half manual or manual is much more easy to handle in this market where we are operating. Big tank, and in here the maize gets cooked. And as the maize is very different from US or Mexican maize, it takes us so longer to cook. This maize is cooked about for 6 to 7 hours, and then it rests overnight till the morning. And then in the morning it's ready to remove. So this cooking tank, it has something inside which mixes it, like a mixer, and we add some calcium to remove the hull, which is not good digestible. So that hull turns into saliva. And then it's, in the morning, we remove it in this tank, which is called washer. Maybe the camera can come. So we open this valve. By opening this valve, all the batch from in here runs into the cooking tank. We can cook up to 280 kilos maize. 280 kilos at once. So in this machine, it measures the corn. The maize is still a whole piece, but it makes it mixing itself, touching each other, and then it gets kind of fractional to each other, and then it removes the remaining hull. And then it's transported up this pipe where there's water flowing, rinsing off the remains of this dissolved hull, which is like a gel, a tin. And that is what we remove. And what is remaining from the process is the calcium, which enriches the vitamins, ensures that there is no autophagy, and a lot of other minerals which are good for the body. So it enhances the level of vitamins and minerals. The next process is grinding. So it goes directly into the grinder, which makes the dough. And then manually, the dough is put into the mixer, which is right aside of the machine. As we have a workflow process, we follow the steps of the production. And in the mixer then we put all the ingredients, let's say the shortening, if needed salt. And from there, the batch goes to the production of baking and making the tortilla. Cuts it, and after cutting, it flows to the oven where it bakes. Now, this is already where we have quality assurance. Everything what is not good, we remove. Then in the oven, it runs on very high heat, and it turns upside down several times.
So So the belt,
So it bakes on this side, it flows through, it turns, bakes on the other side, flows back, turns, and then bakes again on the other side, turns, bakes again from the top, flows back, and goes to the cooling conveyor, which is on this side. Now the cooling conveyor, the function of that is cooling the product down, because it's hot. So it turns here 5 times, and afterwards and assures the quality a second time on the cooling conveyor, and if something is not good, it's sorted out. From there, the products are collected at the sorting table. Here they are arranged in big packages, and from there they go to cooling, and then from the cooling process, they are packed.
So you can see some precautions here. Does it mean you don't have to touch?
Precaution means here, you see a net, but inside it has a propeller, a fan. So if somebody would go and touch inside, of course the fan will hit the hand. So normally safety issues are that you have some precaution signs, like you can see on the mill. I can show you. There are also some safety issues telling you should not put your hand in, because somebody can be reluctant or forget about it. The same thing is with a mixer. There are also some stickers showing you should not put your hand inside, because it can cut off your arm. These people.
Okay. Then just put the okay. Repeat that statement again.
In the production, we operate with the staff between 4 and 6 people, depending on what we are doing. So also the staff is challenged because they have to multitask, as we're still a small growing company. Everybody does everything. So they need to be able to pack, they need to be able to do chips, they need to be able to do quality control, everything, even cleaning.
Is it a permanent one or it works on a casual?
No, we don't work with casual people, because what we need is know-how and long-term commitment. We wish people who are who have identification to the company, because there's a lot of knowledge, and the casual worker could not do that. He would not even reach to the cooking. He would already be. It's very difficult to do this product, especially with the maize here. And if you don't know even how to cook, that one takes already several months to learn how to cook, because it's extremely difficult. It's not an easy thing. It looks like a simple product. And casual workers, generally, I don't believe they're motivated. They believe more in long-term commitment, because I think a worker is also motivated when he has long-term commitment, because I think it costs company a lot of money when you have changed people all the time and train them. Of course, some companies do by ensuring, by making casual workers, they might be cheaper, but it costs the company a lot of money. There are some tactics where people have casual worker because of fraud. They say, okay, I can replace, then there's less risk of fraud. But at the end, in long term, I think the other way pays better off. We still have to learn a lot of things, like this year now is a year of transforming from experience we made in the previous year. So also we have to accept we had some weaknesses in the processes, and those we will correct and change.
Okay, like today now.
And pack. Once you're on full capacity level, you produce and you pack at the same time. But we cannot have staff waiting and sitting when there is no order. So that means we have to use small stuff and to do everything. So that means we try to produce once or twice a week. So everybody is then focusing on the production. And the rest of the days we prepare orders, you see? Yeah. So you don't do packaging and producing at the same time, because we have to utilize our resources on an economic level. You cannot have, let's say, people packaging and producing, then you would need more stuff, you see? And that means more costs. So when you're penetrating the market, you have to grow slowly. Welcome.
Yeah. Why you think you need to explain, you can explain? Through the process, why you think you can explain something? Okay. Yeah.
So now we can start here.
Okay.
After resting, the nixtamal, it's called nixtamal, that's the maize which, with the removed hull, the product is released into the washer. So the next step you will see now is the release into the washer. Right now we're down the whole process.
That's the water you were saying.
That's the gelatin. That's the hull now which is dissolved into a kind of thick sliver. Now, as you can see here, the hull is gone. This maize has no more hull.
So now the Kenyan style is now the modokoyo.
Yes, traditionally done mutokoi, they used to remove the hull with ash. Now we do it in an industrialized process. And actually we have another product we're selling, we introduced recently, it's pre-cooked mutokoi, which is made out of this. So this maize now is ready. The only thing we wash off is now this shell, which you can see here. You can see it's kind of like a fixed, like a shell, it's like a starch. And it's still warm. Even in the next day, the water is warm. It's not cooled down.
But you'll be interchanging. So utavaa hii ukopoa kizungu Kiswahili.
Kiswahili? Lakini unajua Kiswahili naye ni
So just explain in English. Already. So what next after here now?
now vile tumefika hapa. Now we are trying now to remove the remaining of the hull, which was a little stuck in the maize. And by doing this, we are reversing the machine. We are reversing it so it does not flow up. It just cleans as it rotates here. You see? So this spiral will brush the maize against each other, and then it removes the remains of the hull. So when it goes up there, later it is completely removed.
Where will this water go?
This water will run through this pipe. See this pipe? And then it will go down. When it comes through here, you see, as you can see, it has holes. So the water will come out through this, and then it comes down here, and then it runs through the pipe.
So there's a sewer down there?
There's a sewer that goes out. Okay? Yeah. It's up to the...
To make sure before I start to make the thing close to it.
Will be simultaneous. It comes down, and then we are grinding at the same time. Because we are using the generator too.
So you need to start the generator first?
The generator is already running. Okay? So, but if it was power, for example, if it was electricity, we could fill this bucket
So
one way with maize. But for the generator, it cannot sustain it does not have the capacity to grind the maize when it is full here. Okay? Yeah. We open the water here. See, the water is there. You can see. It's out. Some. You will have to move a little bit because as they're grinding, somebody will be here. Okay. Nani anakaa? Sam. Makumache kenyit je. Peka tu kidogo. Baba, peka tu kidogo Kan tigon hookah. Let it run, please. So now we'll start with this, and then we see if we check the, and then again we have to adjust this for the grinding. Here is iko sawa, si ndio? Hakuna aje kuja baada. Namaste. Macam kayak aja. Satu país dulu. Iklokan. Check the little. Sorry. Is that power? Robert. Simamisha. Clocking. Sam, you have to stop it. It is clocking here. More then the spiral will hit the metal inside.
But we used to go up to here to this mark. Should not hit there.
Now we'll start with this, and then we see if we check the, and then again we have to adjust this for the grinding. Here is iko sawa, si ndio? Hakuna aje kuja baada. Namaste. Macam kayak aja. Satu país dulu. Iklokan. Check the little. Sorry. Is that power? Robert. Mamisha. It's clocking. Sam, you have to stop it. Yeah? It's clocking here. More then the spiral will hit the metal inside.
But we used to go up to here, to this mark. Should not hit there. Or did this thing fall down once?
No. That's close to 17, eh? 7. That is close to 7. You have to know how much kilos is used in certain batches. Like for example, natural, we have a certain number of kilos we have to so we have first to weigh and then we take to the mixer. Yeah. Okay, the weight is done here, so we have to measure it.
Now that will take up to 5. They say it will maintenance today, so
21.5 kilos of the Masado. It was how many kilos for Masro?
On a recorder.
This is the protocol now. We have to make sure that whatever is written down here is the one we are taking to the mixer. For example, we have the Masado taken for natural is 7 kilos only. So for these 7 kilos, you have to take the 7 kilos to the mixer and then we mix it to make sure that there is no air in between the Masado to make it compact together, and then from there we just take it down there to the oven. Yeah. 7 kilos. So you have to divide this one because this is 21, this is more than 7. So you have to take out some. And now taking out of this, we take only 7 kilos. 7 kilos is just a little. It's not a big amount of dough. So we have to separate and take only what we need is 7 kilos only. For the it's natural. This is the 7 kilo we need for the natural. So we have to take them to the mixer to be mixed properly, and then after mixing it is not added with any other thing, so we take it straight to the oven. This is the mixer now. Sometimes when the dough is, for example, you are told that this takes maximum of 100 kilos. So when it is 100 kilos, we have to close this so that the handles does not pour the dough outside, because it goes fast. With the electricity, it goes so fast, and then it might pour the dough outside. So when it's more, we have to close with this lid, but this is just a little amount, we cannot close that. Normally the mixing process takes like 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the amount of the dough inside.
So it mixes to remove air or what?
It removes it squeezes the dough, and then it removes the air and also other particles like majorly it removes the air, but when we add some other ingredients like salt, it makes sure that they are really mixed together and they are compact together. Yeah. Sometimes depending on the dough, it can come out dry sometimes. you have to add a little water to make it really compact.
Do you need to put it small in this small quantity, or it has to be full sometimes?
Mostly it depends with the batch. If the batch says it's 7 kilos, we have to put 7 kilos. But if the batch says we have to put 50 kilos inside here, we have to put 50 kilos. So it depends with the protocol. Yeah. You see how it does not even stick to the hands? It means it is ready. The dough, it means your hands must be clean.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you contaminate the whole dough. Yeah. See now, it is not even, it is not remaining in the hands.
This means that
This means
fine, not
it is fine. It is ready to be taken to the oven for the final, for the cooking. I mean for the baking, not cooking, baking. Yeah. This is how we collect it. We just remove this handle. This one is to make sure that when it is mixing, this thing is stable and it does not move around. Otherwise, it can bump. So whoever is doing this must always remember to put the cap in. Yeah. Otherwise, it can be dangerous. This thing can harm you. It can cut your arm. So if it runs without the handle, then it means disaster. It can also spoil the machine. It closes twice, and then the dough is ready to come out.
Maybe while we're grinding,
Every time you have to consult, because every little mistake you make, if you make a mistake, it ruins the whole thing. Yeah. So we must make sure that the next batch is the one is coming now is 141. It's for salted. So this is actually Masado in Westland. So this one is ready. We can pack this now.
You just pack the way it is.
Yeah, we pack in kilos now.
Masado.
Yeah, this is the Masado. This is ready. We can pack it now, but because of power, we cannot do the same two machines at the same time. Yeah. So this one will just take a polythene and wrap it and keep it in the cooler in the chiller, and then it cools down slowly, and then later we can pack it. Yeah, we can vacuum pack it. Yeah. Cut on. That one is finished. Huh? Yeah. Sijui. Sijui.
you can comment that this cannot be done as well. You know that this is something you have to keep in the head. It's very difficult to do.
We don't have options of automatic, but it's only the option of power. If the generator is running, it means we'll have a rougher course of dough, because I have to regulate here. I have to check out that the stones are not grinding themselves. See this, I'm lifting it up so that I really regulate the thinness of or the softness of the masa dough that comes out. You see?
So
but if it's power, I can press it down. I can press it down and it does not grind to themselves, because I have also to regulate here the amount of maize that is going inside to the grinding mill. You see? But now, because of the generator, I have to really put a thin line between the one on the spiral, taking to the spiral to the grinder. Should be a little maize compared to when there is power. And also, it's very critical, you know. Why? Because I have really to find out the right texture. I have to find out that the masa dough is really soft enough. There is no particles like big particles. Otherwise, down there when you bake the tortillas, they come out also rough. So at this point is very critical. It's very tricky for somebody who doesn't know it. You cannot do this part of that comes out of the grinding stones. Yeah. More? Water is on? Yeah, okay, good. Fine, close. Sharon. More maize, please. Sharon.
Akae tu hapo.
Heavily, we have to eat heavily at every, but we don't have to eat heavily at every, but we don't have to eat heavily every time. That's why snacks come into play. We have biscuits, we have cakes, and now maize tortilla and chips. They are snacks produced in Kenya, and Bidelo company has been doing this job for 2 years. Food is a necessity, and that's why you will always need it. Food is a necessity, and that's why you will always need it wherever you go.
You're easy, mazi. Sawa. Sawa.
Food is a necessity, and that's why we need it wherever we are. But do we have to eat heavily?
Heavily. Sawa.
Food is a necessity, and that's why we always need it wherever we are. But we don't have to eat heavily at every time. That's why snacks come into play. we have cakes, we have biscuits, and now maize tortillas and chips. These are goods that are produced in Kenya by Bidelo Company. It has been doing this job for 2 years now. Yeah. Benja uja record. Food is a necessity, and that's why we so food is a necessity, and that's why we will always need it. Shit. So food is a necessity, and that's why we will always need it wherever we are. But we don't have to eat heavily at every time, at any given time. So food is a necessity, and that's why we will always need it wherever we want. Oh yeah. Food is a necessity, and that's why we will always need it. But we don't have to eat heavily at any given time. That's why snacks come into play. We have cakes, we have biscuits, and now we have maize tortillas and chips. Bidelo Company has been doing this job of producing this product for 2 years now. Iko aje? Si ni intro?
For 2 years now.
For 2 years.
Sawa,
Ama tuseme now, niseme for 2 years, si ndio? Food is a necessity, and that's why we'll always need it. But we don't have to eat heavily at any given time. That's why snacks come into play. We have cakes, we have biscuits, and now maize tortillas and chips. Bidelo Company has been doing this job of producing this product for 2 years. Okay. Just come. Hello, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, Kevin. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet you. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So this is
Welcome.
Bidelo.
This is Bidelo Limited. Yes.
Okay, can we go in?
Yes, we can go in.
Yeah. Thank you. So it's the first shot. So we'll come in again.
Please.
You go ready? I'm not ready.
So, Kevin, welcome to Bidelo Limited.
Thank you. It's a nice place.
So, as you can see, we're in a nice small place.
Yeah.
The advantage of Gongtown is, of course, stable water supply, mostly stable electricity supply. It's not downtown of Nairobi, and once the bypass is finished, also logistic-wise, we're in a strategic good position. And also, our intent is out here for employees to live. The living costs are probably cheaper than when you have to go to industrial area, because they can live near the factory. So they don't really need to have a lot of spendings on transport. Sawa. fix the lights.
Yeah. Something is wrong. Oh, unanisikia? So we are going to start to light the oven. And so first I have to run the band, this old band machine. And then the second thing I have to turn on the blower, which is down here. And then somebody sits there to switch on the lights. So it's done simultaneous opening the gas, and then you open a valve here to make the air blown in, and then it should not be more than 8 seconds. You can see it starts light. Now by that, you must make sure that every burner is really having light, otherwise it will blow on. It will just give on the gas, but there's no flame. So we must make sure that every burner has a blue flame on top of it, so that we can close everything down. 8 to 10 minutes for the burn to be really hot, and then we can run the masa dough through the oven. So there's a regulator here. If you want more air or gas, you open these valves. But because it has been adjusted now, I cannot touch. Because if I touch it like this, it changes the whole thing. So we make sure that nobody touches it when we are starting the machine. Otherwise, if you touch it, then we have to regulate everything, and you have seen, you've seen how it's hard to regulate this machine. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.